What is up, everybody? It is Rust Belt Perspective here. Today is Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. Hope everybody had a good new year. I sure did. And today, we're taking a look at the 2024 Senate map and what would be the best case scenario for the Republicans. This map, of course, is quite favorable to the Republicans, with them only having to defend 11 seats and to the Democrats 23, and a lot of those 23 states for the Democrats being vulnerable, while the Republicans really don't have a lot of vulnerability with their own 11. Much like in 2018, when on the same map the Republicans were able to flip 4 seats and with a net gain of 2, despite how much the national moves against the Republicans. So now, what would a good year for the Republicans, or best possible year, not just a good year, but the best possible year, look like for the Republicans in 2024 in the Senate? Well, of course they would have their safe states that they already were going to have before we did this exercise. And to be clear, this is not a prediction of how I think these are going to go. It's just to show what how good it can get for the Republicans. So of course they've got their own already, and then West Virginia I predicted to be a safe state, along with a lot of the major political sources. After Joe Manchin's announced retirement and Republican Jim Justice is running, it is widely expected to flip with the state's partisan lean. And then in the best case of the Republican scenario, I will say Florida's a safe state. You know, Senator Rubio of Florida was polling above Democrat Val Demings by like 8-9 points in 2022, and he ended up crushing that. He won by 17 points, a surprisingly high number for Rubio. And with the best case scenario for the Republicans, Rick Scott can have that same thing happen. He'll be polling just fine against whoever his opponent may end up being, but come election day, he absolutely crushes it, just like his colleague Marco Rubio did. So I'll consider this a safe Republican state and the best case scenario for the Republicans. Now, what's safe for the Democrats? What's still safe for the Democrats in this case? Well, you got Hawaii, California, and then you got a lot of the New England territory. Bernie Sanders will do fine. Then a lot of this New England territory is just too blue. But yeah, I think these are all the safe states I would call for the Republicans in this case. So, or for the Democrats, excuse me, in this case. And this is very bad for the Democrats right off the bat. There's you're telling me there's 14 seats the Democrats are defending. Well, I guess, well, there's also West Virginia, but you know they're not going to win that. So there's this many states the Democrats are defending, and the elections are competitive to some nature. That is not good for the Democrats. They are behind big time already. But likely states in this case, I will say, are Washington, Maine, Virginia, Minnesota, and New Mexico, so it does get better for them after that. Angus King is very popular in Maine, so he should have no problem winning, but he did just win by 19. I shouldn't say just 19. He won by 19 in 2018, when it was a pretty blue year, but that could tighten up a bit if the national mood was good for the Republicans like it is in this exercise. So Angus King should still win, but it wouldn't quite be by 15. Similar with Maria Cantwell in Washington, it could get a little tighter than 15 points, but she should win just fine. Then Minnesota, New Mexico, and Virginia, they have popular Democratic incumbents, and the partisan lean of the state does lean Democratic anyway, but they still end up being somewhat competitive elections, but not super close. But still, if this is it for likely states for Democrats and they're still down by this much, that is bad news. Then in this case of it being the best case scenario for the Republicans, I will say a couple likely Republican states will be Ohio and Montana. Like in this case, you would have Bernie Moreno and presumably Tim Sheehy winning by like 6 points or so, which is realistic. I mean, this would be like your Kevin Cramer, Josh Hawley, Mike Braun type flip, and like elections that were supposed to be more competitive among Democratic incumbents in 2018, but turned out to not be as such. Like, you saw Mike Braun win by almost 6, as did Josh Hawley over popular Democrats Claire McCaskill and Joe Donnelly. So that's what this would be for the Republicans in Montana or Ohio in a best case scenario. If they end up winning by a surprising amount despite how close the polls are. And I mean, furthermore, in 2022, J.D. Vance, who was close with Bernie Moreno, they both got that Trump endorsement, and Vance endorsed Moreno himself. Like, this right here, Vance won by 6 points. What he's a similar candidate to what Moreno's shaping up to be. So it is realistic. Do I think it'll go that way? Not necessarily, but it's if it does, that would be a great case scenario for the Republicans if it happens. So now the Republicans have the majority, and I think that is it. Well, actually, Texas would become a likely state in this case. The final state the Republicans are holding. Ted Cruz gets a sound victory in this Senate. His first third term, he would probably win by like double digits in this best case for the Republicans. Maybe not quite by 15 because Colin Allred does pose a decent threat to Cruz, and the state has been tightening up recently, but still. A sound victory for Cruz in this scenario. So 52 to 42, it's already not looking good, but let's keep it going. Oh, I did miss one like a Democratic state, and that's New Jersey. With Bob Menendez's all this trouble he has going on right now, the messy Democratic primary, I didn't even predict the state to be safe Democratic in my actual Senate predictions, but I will still keep it likely in this case of it. The national move being even worse for the Democrats here. I don't think the Republicans are going to take New Jersey and put it within 5 points on the federal level, but I mean, if there's a good national move for the Republicans and there's this mess going on for the Democrats in New Jersey, it could get down to like 6, 7, 8 points. So I'll leave it at that. So now I guess I'll also consider Arizona a likely Republican state in this case. I know I'm kind of pushing it with this, but hey, this is the best case scenario for the Republicans. And say that Senator Sinema, the incumbent who runs as an independent, truly does split that Democratic ballot with Democrat Ruben Gallego, and Carrie Lake's able to cut up the middle on that. That could call for her winning by over 5 points. So again, I don't think that's how it's going to go down, but in a great national move for the Republicans, that is realistic, I think, given the uncertainty of this matchup. So now I'll get into a few more competitive states. Pennsylvania, I'll call lean Democratic. I really don't think that Bob Casey is going to lose this race in any way. He just pulled above McCormick by 15, and Bob Casey has always been so popular in Pennsylvania. It was plus 13 in 2018, plus 9 in 2012, plus 17 in 2006. Casey's just too popular, and David McCormick isn't a great candidate. You're just seeing him get outpolled by 15 points to Bob Casey. In a great fast move for the Republicans, this could definitely get tight within 5 points, and it is absolutely in play for Trump at the presidential level, but here, no. Bob Casey will hold on no matter what, no matter how bad the national mood can get. Then Michigan, I'll call lean Republican. It's a state I've talked about a lot and why I think it's going to be closer than most think in 2024. And in this case, James Craig would secure a 2, 3, 4 point victory in a great national mood for the Republicans. So that puts the Republicans at 54. And there's 2 states left. And neighboring state Wisconsin, I will also consider lean Republican in this case. Tammy Baldwin is a popular incumbent, so it's going to take a lot for the Republicans to take her down. But the Republican frontrunner is David Clark. It's weird because he was affiliated with the Democratic Party for quite a while when he served as a sheriff of Milwaukee from 2002 to 2017, but he has since switched and he has like praised Donald Trump and stuff, and he is crushing Republican primary polls in Wisconsin. So I mean, I guess similar to James Craig, you got the Detroit police chief and the Milwaukee sheriff right here. So I mean, in a great scenario for the Republicans, both of them end up winning and getting elected to the Senate together. So that puts the Republicans at 55. And then for this exercise, I will also consider Nevada a lean Republican state. It's a state the Republicans have had trouble with federally for a long time. Like you've seen on the Senate level, Cortez, Masto, and Rosen keep getting elected. Biden, Clinton, Obama all did fine here. So, but in this case, if the national mood truly is bad against the Democrats and good for the Republicans, I could see this, the Republicans winning. Their frontrunners emerged as Sam Brown, a U.S. Army veteran, and Jackie Rosen. She is popular, but again, this has been a close swing state, and if the national mood is really good for the Republicans, Sam Brown could end up winning over Jackie Rosen. So, Yeah, overall, in the best case for the Republicans in the Senate in 2024, I do believe that the Republicans win majority 56 to 44. That is a sound majority for the Republicans, and if they were to have another good stretch in 2026, really good stretch, I should say, this is not just good, this is like really good. If they got another really good stretch in 2026, they could potentially be looking at a filibuster-proof majority after that, but that's a long ways away. And again, I don't think this is how it's going to go, but best case, this is what the Republicans are looking at. So comment down below. What do you guys think? Have I missing states? Am I going too far? Do I have it just right? Let me know. This is Rust Belt Perspective signing off.